Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to see how you can implement a singleton pattern for your logging class. Okay, first of all, why do you need a singleton design pattern for your logging? Why not simply create a static class that just simply does the job? So I can create public static void log string message, and there you go. So it's just as simple as that. But there are some certain problems to it. Okay, when you implement a static logging class, when you are writing the unit test, so of course you cannot mock this static class. So you are making it tightly coupled. So that's one of the disadvantage with this static class. So here, what you can do is you can make your class as logging, but again, still there are some problems to it even after making the logging class as uh, singleton, but that we are going to discuss in this video. So first, let's implement this singleton logging class. So what do we need for this? Okay, so here, first of all, in order to make this class as static, I would need an instance variable that is going to hold this logging class, and also I would need a log. Let me just logging. Okay, so let me change the name to something more meaningful. So it's going to be logger. Okay, now, okay, so we have got the instance variable, which is static, that's going to hold the instance of the logger. We have got the constructors private. So what else we need? So we need, okay, the Visual Studio is helping us with the intelligence. So here, what we need, this is going to be public variable, the instance that can return us the instance. Okay, but there is one thing, we just don't want to return this instance directly, but we would rather uh, we would rather want to get the instance of this only by checking if the instance is null. Then we are going to return a new instance. We are going to create a new instance for the logger now. Okay, so we have got the return instance. Okay, so we have got the property here. That's like, I can say logger.instance. That's going to give me the logger instance. Okay, there is still some problem to it. What happens if there are if the application is being executed in a multi-threaded environment? So we need to make it thread safe. How are we going to do that? So let me create a variable for us to acquire acquire a log on this object, so that we are making sure that no other thread is having access to it. So whoever accesses it first, so then we are making sure the instance is created. Let's say the thread 1 has acquired the log on this, then we are going to create an instance. Meanwhile, the thread comes in here and says, hey, I want to execute this, but the log statement prevents it from execution. Then, okay, once it comes in, once the thread 1 is done with this, thread 2 comes in and checks, okay, the instance is already assigned, then nothing happens. The only the single instance address or the instance being returned to the thread 2 as well. Okay, now what happens is, so let's revert this. So we don't need a static method. Looking at this singleton class, do you think we can mock the dependencies when we are writing the unit tests? Of course not. So what we need to do is, let's create an interface that will help us mock the logger. So I will create logger, and let me have this. Now this ILogger, so this logger class gonna implement this ILogger. Okay, so there's still something. Okay, it looks good now. Okay, so now I've got the ILogger interface that implements the log method, and it's going to give me the logger instance. So just assume this is the ConsoleLogger. I can name it as a ConsoleLogger. Just imagine just by creating an interface and the way you want to mock things, right? So now I've got the ConsoleLogger. I can come up with a FileLogger now. So I mean, you can create a number of loggers with this. Now you will be able to inject any type of instance, even though you are using a singleton. So here you are using a singleton with dependency injection. Now here, let me go back to this. Here I would say logger equals, but I'm using a console logger, and of course I cannot instantiate it because my constructor is private. So what is the solution? Just say ConsoleLogger dot instance. Okay, there you go. Everything looks good. Now logger dot log low. Okay, let me run this. Let me run it directly and see if there is anything that's printed here. Okay, we are here, console.write line, and just saying hello. See that we have used the interface to create a console logger. I can then go on to build a similar logger for file, and this is just going to be, I mean, very easy for you. So I have created a file logger here, and everything you just change it. So the base is still the same that we are pointing to here. You can write to file dot write all text. I mean, of course, you can just check the API. So for the demonstration purpose, I'm just giving you an example here. You can just give the path. Maybe it's something text .txt. Let me give that as a path, and here is a message that's written to the file. And so here I can just change the instance to this to FileLogger. Now you see that we have just got one logger, and we don't have to change anything. Even when I'm writing the unit test, I don't have to change anything. It all works. So that's how we use the singleton with logging. I hope you understood something about this. Thank you for watching.